Hello, hello, mystical, magical, beautiful, enchanting beings. Allure Mystique, and so I am actually coming to you. I'm going to say this is going to be short and sweet, but we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to think of how do I even want to kind of segue into this. So, there has been a lot of cosmic portals and energy, and just a lot that's been very intense and open over the last month or so, in particular. And even with like the moon energies and things we've had going on, but it's just been quite a few activating sequences, and there's been some energies that's been really, really heavy around and present. And coming off of that, even going up to the Lion's Gate portal, which is August 8th, we're officially in Leo season. And it's Friday. A lot of that love Venusian energy circulating around. And also, so there was an energy that came through yesterday that had a lot to say. Not going to share a lot of that. But then today we were kind of spending some time together, and it was something that somebody posted online, which actually followed up from a session that I had not so long ago. So it was very similar, and it made me really do some thinking, and this energy came forward with some things to spiral, to elevate my mind set around love. And so one of the things that initially came to was about falling in love. And there's something about that never quite resonated with me. And where I kind of have this little eye roll about it. And I never quite knew exactly what it was. I just knew I didn't like the falling into thing. And so when I saw this post today, and when they were talking about it, and it came up in its regards of like, I fell in love, and you can't help who you love, and it was just a whole bunch of things that we typically hear. And one of the things that came through with this energy and some energies, and I'll share a little bit about that too, was about how disempowering and victimizing those statements are. And so that's what took me down this love hole today, with that, and how so many messages that we receive regarding love really are very contrary to elevated love, and have done a lot of damage to a degree as far as limiting and suppressing and also restricting almost the flow of true, like, elevated love. And so I wanted to share that. So one of the things with this falling in love thing and what was coming up with that, and I'm bringing this up because while there's so much happening, and all this is about divine energy and goddess and gods and shifts and queens and kings and sovereignty and independent spirituality and freedom and all these different things. And when you're on this path, which is who I'm speaking to primarily, right? There's so much subtleness that just still is with that very hint of victimization that's in there, that we really have to start shifting our mindsets and start being conscious and reprogramming about, in order to truly align with those vibrations and energies. And love is a major force of that. So I'm not going to go that deep today into love necessarily, because I do want to keep this kind of short and sweet, but I do want to talk about the falling aspect of it that we talk about. So what came up with that is this. So when you fall, what that typically means, right, is like this downward, without control, sudden descent, collapse, all the different things we think when we fall, right? And so the issue with that is there really isn't anything, being, anyone outside of yourself that you should actually fall in love with. Love is actually a leap. It is a jump, if you want to look at it more that way, than a fall when in regards to bringing someone else into your love space, whether that's family, friends, romantic relationships, whatever. There is this essence to it that is still very much about choices and being intentional and purposeful, because when you are divine, nothing is just happening to you. You are creator, creatrix. You are the one that sets in motion and wields and commands and decrees. And so when you get into this, like, I can't help this and I fall into this, that's taking some of your power out of it. It's taking accountability out of it. And even though, we do develop feelings, and sometimes it's like, where did this come from? And it feels out of your control. But when you really think about it, it's all about still being a choice, right? Of, do you align with this vibration? Do you welcome this into your space? Is this a reciprocal flow? It shouldn't be something that's just spiraling outward where you don't have your hand in, kind of maneuvering that. And I know that sounds so whatever, and it may not even be that deep, but this is about dropping some nuggets to just get us to start rethinking things. And when it really came down to the fall piece, one thing that did stick out with this energy was that to fall, the only space you should really fall into, which is not even falling into, but is more about into yourself. It is that falling in love into yourself, which the falling in love with yourself is that descent into all of who you are, your shadows, your subconscious, the deepest, darkest, and darkest does not mean evil, right? Does not mean negative, low vibrational. I constantly say that, but the aspects of yourself, the self-discovery, that's there. That's it. Like I say, and even with that still is there's a choice in that, because you choose to do your work, you choose to deep dive right into yourself. But that's the only fall when you look at it from that perspective. Now, it's not to say you can't, once you leap or align with love with someone else, that you still can't have that sensation. But it's very much different, and we just want to be very mindful of how we're programming our subconscious and when we're saying those things. And if you think about that, with where we're talking about, it's not a choice, and especially I work with people all the time, especially women who just feel like they don't really have any control. And I just love him. That's just the thing. It's just like, I love him, this, and it's just like, and I don't know how, I don't know why, and this is the thing, and it's just like, no. Okay, so I wanted to just share a little bit of that. So, with that as well, love, and I'm not going to, like I said, go too deep into this because this can be a very long topic. But if anything, if you want to attach, which is the highest form of love, is going to be detached love, actually. But if we want to attach or correlate something with it, think about love in the regards of being free. Like, it's not about falling into love with someone or something else. It's about being freely in love, free to explore, free to grow, free to evolve, free to show up as your authentic self, and to have reflections and to have challenges and to be pressurized, because all that evolves you. It's actually free in love. And that was the word and what was coming up from these energies today. But it all still starts with that inner fortification, right? That inner work. And so we're constantly coming back to shadow work. And I am going to be doing some more stuff a little bit. I didn't want the channel to go into like shadow. And there's so many, I have previous videos already on here, but it's still obviously very needed because it still keeps coming up with the collective conscious and when I'm doing divination or the messages. And so I'll be working on some things with that. To be a little bit more, to help a little bit more consistently, or to just continue to help you guys with understanding and the delve, right? The deep dive into shadow selves and shadow work. But so what I also wanted to say was we're in Leo season. The Lionsgate portal is already open, okay? That energy is building up. This is an amazing season for truly connecting with divine love, connecting with yourself, because while we think about Leos as like the solar plexus a lot and confidence and kings and queens, which is true, Leos actually govern the heart space as well. They actually do govern that heart chakra space. And so if you combine that with the portals we're in and just utilizing this work and that Leo energy, and also the essence of the sun, which is very purifying, very healing, very cleansing as well, this is a great chance to utilize all that energy to truly just connect with pure, high, evolved, elevated, divine love from within, and then as an extension out. So the energy that I was working with regarding this a lot is Erzulie Freda. She's absolutely amazing. She is a handful, okay? But I love her dearly. So she is one that definitely can really help to expand you around love. Of course, there's so many different love energies out there. I know everyone loves Oshun, sweet love, sweet water, she's amazing. I love her as well. So of course she is an energy that you can also work with. She actually has some correlations too with the season and the sun, right? I tend to want to lean a little bit more towards Erzulie just because of the shadow piece that's really needed, and they are both a love energy, but they both come and approach it very differently. But again, whoever and whatever resonates with you, we have Hathor, also known as Het Heru, who has also stepped forward, and she's definitely over love and beauty, and she's very earthy, but she has this way of really showing and guiding you into how those things extend outward from you, from within you, and helping you to stay balanced in that. So I love her for that. Isis is another one who definitely has come forward and can teach and share a lot on divine love. Some of these energies who do have like divine partnerships, which most of the ones I've mentioned now, they kind of are listed as one. They're great with that. Erzulie actually is noted to have 3 if you've ever looked her up. So that's, we also have, who was it just popped in? Medusa. So if you want to really fall in love with yourself and know how to really bring and reflect that into your life from others, that's your girl. She is definitely an energy that can help you master that shit, okay? As well. And even though most people do not realize this, I am going to throw Lilith out there. Lilith is so great to work with, not just for women, because she has an amazing ability to also help men learn how to hold space for the divine feminine while still being in the divine masculine energy. She's amazing for couples as well who are bringing those two energies together in unity, even though people don't tend to think of her that way. And she will definitely show you from a higher elevated space, and it's especially with feminine energy, how to align with that. She is, and we both house both, right? So she also can show men how to balance that. And people miss that aspect about her a lot, and it's really a disservice because she's so broad and she's so amazing. So those are some of the few energies that had came forward that I was working with in this message and in today, that I think will be great for you guys to connect with, to explore this a little bit more, and even with beginning to go within your subconscious, within your heart space, and deprogram and reprogram and shift those paradigms, and to know how to make that actionable and show up into your life as the mystics, as the gods, the goddesses, the kings, the queens, the enchantresses and enchanters that you are. And of course, shameless plug here, side note, I actually do have a product for all of those energies. So as always, you can follow us and connect with Enchanted Desires, which is DEZIRES. Follow us on Instagram. You can check out our Etsy store. I actually just relaunched Oshun and Hathor not too long ago. So I'm going to make sure they are listed, but they should be. But I'm going to double check that. I have Medusa, definitely some great products with her, including a candle. She actually is one of the few energies that I have candle, oil, and a conjure vibrational mist for, and she has more to come. But I do have one for everybody else as well. Urzuli Freda, I actually had an oil for, but I had only re-released her mist, but I'm going to work on getting her oil back out there too. So check that out, as well as just follow us on social media, because we do have some sales and different things that will be coming up as we continue to rebuild, and we're moving inventory and just following the notions of the seasons too. And we'll have definitely some things happening for Lion. We have a couple of products that's going to drop in this Lionsgate energy and portal. So definitely keep a lookout and watch out on that. And hope this was somewhat helpful for you. The one thing else I'm going to drop with that is just to remember, and I want to reiterate that everything begins with you. You are the end all be all of your universe, okay? Even from the multiverse perspective, everything. And so all things flow from you. And also, there is nothing by chance. There is nothing happenstance. There is nothing that happens outside of you or to you, especially when you're not coming from a place of divinity and sovereignty, even when we're looking at love. So begin to just connect with yourselves within redefining what is love. How does that look for you? What does that mean to you as a divine elevated being? How does that show up in your life? Where does it need to be expanded? Where do you need to realign and shift? And truly connect with your oversouls, because we're all still so different, and we have different desires and needs and wants that just nourish and fuel us, right? And your highest selves is always going, which is the true, like the purest form of yourself, is always going to be first, okay? Before any of these energies, that should always come first. And so on that note, I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of this Venusian Friday, this Venus day. Oh, Lucifer, that's who it was I was rocking with as well today. Just popped in like, hold on. So let me shout him out, which I don't have a product for him, but I'm just shouting him out because I love him. He's a great energy that's very Venusian, very Venus heavy, and it definitely can show a lot there with illumination and this season as well. Spirit Knows Best has a great product called Venus Illuminated, and it is heavy with Luciferian energy, and it's amazing. So shout her out. And the Magical Mystic, which is spelled MAGICKAL, actually has a Lucifer oil, which is bomb. That oil, to me, I fell in love with it. So I also always am going to shout out my peoples. Check out as well. Let me make sure I have the website right. I know it's When Home Feels Like Magic, because she has a Love Like No Other oil, and that oil is great for both self-love, for relationships, for elevated love. And yes, it's When Home Feels Like Magic, also MAGICK.com. So I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.